My name is Paulette Ford. Campfield Estates is 102 units of multifamily housing located in the lower Roxbury, South End section of Boston. I've worked on this project for the past 15 or 20 years. Low-income housing is important because leveling the housing helps to stabilize family units. It provides a diverse population of people in the community that can serve as role models, mentors. Before Campfield Estates, it was Campfield Gardens. And HUD had foreclosed on the properties. People weren't sure what was going to happen to them. Obviously, you couldn't just move out 100 families and kick them out in the street. But HUD also had a program where it encouraged resident ownership of the housing where they lived. Over the course of time, it was decided that Campfield Gardens was structurally unsound and that it would need major corrections. So we embarked on a plan which involved the total demolition of the property, and it meant that the residents had to be relocated while the property was demolished and rebuilt. When it was rebuilt, there was still some serious issues that needed to be addressed, and rather than have the residents move back and find themselves with a property that had water infiltration or whatever was wrong, we thought it was necessary to correct all construction deficiencies before people moved back. We kept close communication with all of our residents because we developed as an organization more as a family and a community than a group of people who wanted their housing corrected. And that was critical. The demonstration disposition or disposition demonstration, no one has ever figured out which was what right, was designed to make corrections in the stock of housing in this community and to encourage resident ownership of the properties. Was it successful? I think to some degree, yes, it did make the corrections to the housing stock. Resident ownership, personally, I would have liked to see more developments that owned their property. There were 11 sites and only 2 are resident-owned, Campfield and New Academy. The challenges looking back were personally the amount of time it takes away from one's family. And sometimes people don't take you seriously. They think that because you are a woman that maybe you really don't understand. They think that as a minority woman they have certain preconceived notions about how you're supposed to act, how you're supposed to speak, what you're supposed to do. I have a master's in elementary education. Education was always important. When I was younger and raising my kids, I started back to school, but I didn't finish. However, my father was a lawyer, and my mother was a college professor, and later a teacher. So the expectation and the groundwork was always there. It was a matter of fitting things together. There's a poem in my sorority. It talks about the house by the side of the road. Hermit souls that dwell in their place of self-content. And one line is, let me sit by the side of the road and be a friend to man. So I would think that if anything, I kind of like try to live up to that theory that as you go through life, it's a highway and you're going to meet lots of people on the highway, and it's your job to either be a help or a hindrance. And I would like to think I helped someone somewhere. Someone certainly helped me.